triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news, money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold. My agent just said we made 100 flat. Make it back and make it stack, this like no Steven Jack. Put my rings up in the camera like I needed that. Up in the air and at the rim is where I meet them at.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another edition of I'm Not Gonna Hold You. Of course, I'm your host, Scott Lewis, here with my co-host, JR Bang. You know to follow us on all social media platforms at Barbchair Scott, at JR Bang. Please subscribe to the Patreon, patreon.com/network. That link is in the description box, and it is also here on the QR code if you're too lazy to click down. It's right there. And please subscribe to my YouTube. I've gotten a big boost in subscribers over the last, I want to say 48, 72 hours. So shout out to y'all. So please press subscribe or scan the QR code right up here, man. So we got a nice rundown of stuff to talk about today. We did not have a show last week because I had to go to Bears rookie camp, and that is a long commute. So I was not here in time. So, yeah, man. Bang, how you feeling?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It was just like felt like it was a siren in the background.
Oh yeah, that's the stove right there, cause we got to cook some pizza. But no, feeling good. Weather's nice outside. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead and do this show, and then go sit outside for a little bit, drink some G4 tequila. And next week is my birthday. Next week on Thursday, I turn 44, and the next
Shout
day
out to
after
that.
that, and the next day, Pappy turns 25.
He's gonna be
You know what I'm saying?
no. Put age on him. He would be 35.
You
No
know what I'm
more.
saying?
He's finna be the old dude in the club now. All right.
Yeah, so now feeling good, man. This is birthday week. Orlando could kiss my ass because he's gonna hear this and have something to say. But feeling good to be able to do this show today.
Yeah, man. I'm feeling good too. Nice weather. It's the Crosstown Classic. I feel like I'm the only person in this city who's just not. I'm not falling for it. Y'all can fall for it. I'm not going to. I've seen this many times. Now I believe in the North Side team. I believe they're good. I believe that they're going to make the playoffs and they're going to make a serious run to the World Series. Not these dudes on the South Side. Y'all not finna fool me.
Do
All
we
right.
got to watch this on? Do we got to pay $20 to watch this?
Yeah, it's a White Sox home game, and you got to pay regardless because the Cubs are only on marquee. So if marquee's not in your package,
I know, yeah.
yeah. So I think I have marquee. I don't have Chicago Sports Network, and I will not be paying to watch this team.
I downgraded my YouTube TV. I'll find out what is in there.
Yeah, we're gonna get to streaming in a minute. The opening segment, which we like to call "I'm Not Gonna Hold You," it's gonna be centered around beef. So let's start with Bang's beef with the Michael Jackson movie, which I highly enjoyed, by the way.
Uh, because when you say beef, it makes people think that I hate the movie, and I do not hate the movie. As I said on the show, some dude, I love the movie for what it is. For what it is an amazing movie. I've watched it 4 times.
Okay, you
Don't
watched it
ask,
more than me.
don't ask me how.
Okay,
Just know I watched it 4 times already. However, I hate it for what it could have been. See, the way that they ended it is kind of the reason why I hated it. And I'm not saying it should have went past 88. In fact, my theory is it shouldn't. If we're gonna do parts, My theory is it should have ended in 1984. I don't think we needed to get to bad yet. I don't think it was enough music in there. Um, I don't think I think they tried to play their dad as the antagonist, but they was a little bit like we want to put daddy out there, but we don't really want to put him out there. They ain't want to embarrass their daddy. See, my theory is this,
I
guy.
think they did that very well.
Yeah, I mean, I think they did it very well. However, it's like you ain't got to do it. In my movie, they didn't have to do it. Like you could still had him in the background, but to me, the antagonist is not necessarily his daddy. It's public opinion in the industry. See, my movie starts where they start. Gary, what, 1969? They doing their thing. They do the chilling circuit. They give us all of those albums. They give us more music. What I think is a big miss, part one, is when they leave Motown. When they left Motown, people didn't necessarily leave them for dead, but they was like, oh, I mean, Motown really made them kids. We didn't get acne Mike. We didn't get change of voice Mike. We didn't get none of those things to where it was a concern if the group was still going to be successful. But they did. Then you get to, I want to go solo and we make off the wall. And the second thing that I think is missed about this movie is people don't remember or might not know that Mike was snubbed for the big awards at the Grammys. He was only nominated and won the R&B Grammys. However, he wanted them big awards and he was pissed. And he was at the Grammys pissed. If we don't get that snub, we don't get Thriller. He used that as motivation to then give you that mantra that they did when he was in the studio talking about some he's the greatest of all time and he wants to do this and he wants to do that. Then he gives you Thriller. That's where the movie ends for me. You started in 1969, do the chilling circuit thing and all of that. You see the snub, you see acne, Mike, you see Big Nose Mike even more. Because let's go back to Acne Mike. Acne Mike, Mike was around here pissed. Like, damn, I got sex bumps all over my face, basically. Like, it was like I don't get no ass. It's like I'm out here. Where's the cream to put on my face? And that's when you get his daddy calling him Big Nose and stuff too. And no, like that part one. Part one, if they're gonna do this in parts, because I think they could have did this in three parts. Part one is 69 to 84. And in fact, they didn't have to end it with the victory tour. They could have ended that movie with Motown 25. Because the album was already out and they was like, yo, we did fuck up by putting the Paul McCartney joint as the first single. We need Mike to do something major. Motown 25 comes, he does the moonwalk, and that's when the album really took off. That to me, part one, that's where the movie ends. Part two is Victory Tour, Bad, Dangerous. Part three, if you want, is when you start talking about the sexual assault allegations and things that he went through, been going through all of that up until his death. So I think it's a three-part series, a three-part movie. I don't I like the movie, Scott. I love the movie for what it is. I'm just like, if y'all gonna do it like this, y'all could have did 69 to 84, 84 to 19, what was that, 1993? And
Yeah.
then 1993 on. And I think because they rushed it, they missed so much.
I will say this, by the way, those are fair complaints. I wouldn't
See?
even call them complaints. They're fair criticisms.
Yeah.
Okay. I fell for the some dude algorithm
Yeah.
of headline grab, which, by the way, good job, because that's what we're
God.
supposed to
Yeah.
do. So, this I will say this: I do believe this has been way better if it was a FX Apple TV type of miniseries, like how they did the OJ trial. The
Yep.
OJ series, Chef's Kiss. That was just as good as the Made in America documentary, which in my opinion is the greatest documentary ever. Like I thought was excellent. So I do agree with that. I will say the first 30 to 45 minutes, I was like, yeah, this kind of flying by. Now I did going to this movie knowing that there's going to be a part two.
Yes.
That we knew. But this is where I fell in love with the movie. The performances and the music. It was just that's how great Michael Jackson music is. It takes away. I couldn't really just judge it as a movie anymore, but I'm enjoying myself too much. And I
And
went
I
to go
wanted
see
more of
it.
that.
Yeah, I thought that was the best part of the movie.
Yeah,
I think
it was.
Jafar was
It
excellent.
was, and I wanted more. Like, okay, here the biggest beef I have with the movie is I think they ended the movie with the wrong song. They should have ended the movie with Man in the Mirror. Cause the whole movie,
Man in the Mirror is how you end the entire story, though.
yeah, I
You
mean,
gotta kind of end it with that. Like part two, you end it with that.
but they ain't. Like I already know they ain't. And see, here's the thing. And while I agree with you in this case, I'll even go further. If you look at the movie, the whole movie was about him being able to distance himself from his brothers and from his dad. But in those moments, he couldn't face, he had to have somebody else do it. Eventually, the man in the mirror needed to do it. That's why I feel like they ended the movie with the wrong song because this is how the movie should have ended. This is how the movie should have ended. The movie should have ended with, first of all, we got it in a small part, but we didn't get Michael Jackson standing there for 3 minutes and people passing out and missing the rest of the concert. And he should have did Man in the Mirror right there. You see more people fall out, a couple of people die, people go on the stretcher and everything. It going for the rest of, and then the credits start going down and you start seeing the wording Michael Jackson went on to do this and this from this year to this year. I think they ended the movie with the wrong song. They shouldn't have ended with bad. They should have ended it with Man in the Mirror. Because eventually the Man in the Mirror is gonna, if they're gonna do a number two, and if number
Oh,
two they're
they're
gonna be talking about
100%
something,
doing.
and if with
Movie
number two they're gonna,
studios don't turn down free money.
right, and if they're gonna do number two, they're gonna talk about some things, then eventually the Man in the Mirror has to face himself. So Man in the Mirror
Now,
should have been in the movie.
I personally love the bad in it. That was probably my favorite performance of the movie. Now I went to go see this with my parents. We saw it for my dad's birthday, and I think also who I saw it with made my enjoyment better because they were clearly going back to their heydays. Like you never met my dad, but he don't ever like sing and stuff like that. He was in his bag. All right, like they went back to the 80s. My parents got married in 83. So that's
Oh,
the year Thriller came
damn.
out. So I guess watching with them, and there was this lady who sat next to my mom. She was one of the people who were at the Regal Theater when the Jackson 5 came there. She was telling us the
Oh,
story and everything. And also the bad part, I've seen this on Instagram, but it was even in my theater. I went to Crestwood. People were jamming, dancing when Bad came on. So it was the experience. But it's also a me. I do believe that, yeah, it would have been better as a show. Pacing was a little off. But I think the cast was excellent. And I
Michael,
also just don't have high expectations for biopics.
Michael.
I just don't have high expectations for biopics. Like to me, the best biopic is probably the Temptations. I'm talking about music, not
Yeah,
like
yeah,
in
yeah.
general. It's got to be the Temptations. And
For me, it's right.
Temptations is like 4.5 hours long.
For me, it's right.
Okay,
For me,
yeah,
it's right.
you
But
Ray too.
but but I also segment TV biopics
Now
and
the
movie
Temptations was
biopics.
in movies.
No, that was ABC. I want to say it was
Okay, it
not
was
the Temptations.
ABC.
I think it was ABC or it may have been Lifetime. I'm not for
Okay,
sure, but it was
so if
not
we're
at the
doing
movies.
theatric releases, then it would be Ray
Yes, yeah, that's
because
what
I
I second.
thought the New Edition movie was excellent too on BET.
Yes, and to your point, and I didn't even think about this until you said it. I would have rather because when me and Mike talked about this, Mike said Netflix. No, because I watched too many Apple TV shows.
Yeah, give me an FX Hulu type
Oh
joint.
no, that should have been a 3-part movie on Apple. Apple
Yeah.
should have Apple should have went
Yeah,
ahead and did
Apple
that.
would have went crazy with the budget.
Yes, they
Apple
would have
would have
went
went
crazy with the
crazy with the
budget. We
budget.
would have got everything what we needed to get. I'm with you when this in this case it should have been Apple. Apple should have had the 3-part Michael Jackson movie, and we could have gotten 1969 to 84, 84 to 93, 93 until his death.
And I will say this, and then we'll close up. There's two other things I want to get on before we get to our main rundown. Yes, Janet Jackson was in the movie. Latoya said that Janet politely declined to be in the movie. And I think that the more was Temptation movies on NBC.
Yep.
I think that was more to do with the executive producer credits. And then Diana Ross, I guess, didn't want to be in the movie either, which was also fun to me considering all of her kids were at the premiere. But I enjoyed it. I haven't seen it twice, but I have a rule. I only go see Marvel movies more than once in the theater. So when it comes out on Blu-ray, I'm one of the few people who still collect physical media. So when it comes out on Blu-ray, I will be watching again. But I enjoyed it, man. And I will say this for part 2, how many parts they have. If y'all really think that the Jackson estate are about to go in depth into the allegations,
not at all,
you're going to be very disappointed. Because one thing about all biopics, the winner tells the story. Like, I know a lot of old heads who didn't like the Temptations movie because they're like, oh, Otis telling the story. That ain't really how it went.
Yeah, I
wasn't alive during that time. And my parents were like 10 years old when the Temptation was hot. So they don't even remember that much. So, I have no comments on that. Even if you look at hip hop, I thought Stratocaster was decent. I know they made Dr. Dre look like a superhero, but he lived to tell the story. You know what I'm saying? The scene he was like, what you gonna call that bullshit? Aftermath. Like, whatever. The Tupac movie, terrible.
Terrible.
It was terrible. I think a lot of people wrongfully hate Notorious. I don't think it was that bad.
It wasn't.
It was, and let's be real. Biggie's career was like 2 years. All right, so it wasn't that much to get into. He was dead when the second album came out. So I thought it was outside of Anthony Mackie playing Tupac. I mean, it sounds messed up, but it's true. He was dead when the second album came out.
Hey, real quick, go back to what I said about the ending. Even though it wasn't a biopic, when we talk about musical movies, that's why the ending of Purple Rain is the best ending of a musical movie to me ever. Because that's what I think. When you said bad, that's what I think the ending of this could have been. He could have performed Man in the Mirror, and then they go into bad. But when you look at Purple Rain and he got everybody and their mama crying when he's doing Purple Rain, and then he hits you with I Would Die For You, to me, the ending, I watch Purple Rain. Anytime I see Purple Rain is on, I watch it. Like, literally, it's 2 movies that anytime it comes on, I watch it. Warriors, Purple Rain. The ending of Purple Rain still gets me because he got everybody and their mama crying. You got Morris Day clowning him and all that stuff. And then he go out there and do that. Everybody and their mama crying. Then he hits you with I Would Die For You. He got you crying. Then he like, all right, let's go. Let's get it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bing. That's what I think this ending could have been. And if that would have ended when it been like that, I would have loved it even more.
I'm with you. I wish they didn't get into the bad era period. I think they could have saved, and they probably will go more in depth in the second movie. I do find it, because I'm a Michael Jackson fan. I know everything about Michael Jackson. I think it was a good intro movie for people who don't know much about Mike. Yeah. I will say that. I don't have many complaints about it, but I think your complaints, they make more sense now.
See, now I will say this. There you go.
Somebody said in the comments, All Eyes on Me was all right. No, I got a funny All Eyes on Me story. 2, when me and Pappy went to go see that in Culver City, California, there was a dude. It was a dude in a wheelchair. He had like Tupac stickers on his wheelchair and everything. He had like a underground, what was the name of that group he was
Digital
in?
Underground?
Digital Underground jacket. And he was just yelling, Tupac was an activist. Tupac was an activist. I'm like, nah, I love Pac. He was a nigga that got shot. And he wasn't an activist. Like Chris Rock says, if Tupac was alive, he might have been a politician, or he might have been a dude throwing Jill Scott down a flight of stairs in the Tyler Perry movie. We don't know. But I actually, when I worked at Amazon Studios, the dude who played Tupac came up to the studio to have a meeting with somebody. So I shit you not, I had my lunch in my hand, and I'm walking to my office to eat. And I see him walking down the hallway. I'm like, hey, Pac, what up? He turned around. He like, I was like, so he going by Pac. That was funny. But yeah, fair criticism. Let's go on to some more beef. People's beef with streaming networks
Uh,
in these NBA playoffs and as this NFL schedule coming in. Now, I just got to say this. I told you, remember I said on this show 2 years ago that this era was coming. I said it.
yep.
Everybody called me crazy. I said in a minute. And let's be very clear. The Super Bowl is going to be on Disney Plus very soon. I hope y'all ready for that. I think people are complaining just complaining because everybody's saying, oh, it should just be on cable. All y'all cut cable. Y'all said there's no point of having cable. So now you want cable back just because you can't press the last button on your remote. This ain't 1998. Move with the times. And let's be 100% real here. Out of all the streaming networks that the NBA and the NFL are on, the only one that you might not have is Peacock. And guess what? Those games on NBC. If you can't watch it on Peacock, it's the simulcast on NBC. So I don't want to hear that. Name one human being you know who don't have Netflix. Whether they paying for it or somebody else paying for it, everybody has Netflix.
Great point.
Who on planet Earth? Everybody can be anti-capitalism they want. Y'all all got an Amazon account. And
Great
Amazon
point.
Prime Video comes with the Amazon account. So enough of the complaining. Like, if you're a diehard sports fan, you're gonna watch it. And you know why all these prices keep going up? Because there's one thing in any type of business that's never gonna change that people will pay top dollar for is live sports. So I just feel like it's over the top. And it's not like a lot of these games are coming on at the same time. You can pick and choose. You ain't got an iPad, you ain't got a smartphone. To me, it's just complaining to complain.
Yeah, I think yes. But being that I'm older than you, I saw some of those complaints when things move, when channels move, when the NFL moved, well, when the NFC moved from CBS to Fox. And also when the
I
NBC
heard about that on the Cowboys doc when
yeah,
Jerry Jones got in bed with Rupert Murdoch to bring it to
yep.
NFL, to NBC,
Like
not
it
NBC,
was
but Fox.
it was complaints there. It was complaints when the NBA moved from NBC to ABC, ESPN, especially that because they was like, "Yo, you taking your all of the games on or off of putting it on cable." Here's the thing: this is not new because people are arguing like you only watch the NBA on NBC. No, NBC had games, TNT had games.
Yep,
TNT just didn't start inside the NBA just didn't start with Chuck
with Shaq.
and
This
Kenny
been on
Shaq.
since I was 4 years old.
Right, yeah. Like rest in peace, to Ted Turner. Like this is the perfect
R.I.P. Ted
segue.
Turner, man. I definitely thought Ted Turner was racist till I learned more about him.
Man, right. I definitely could. He a white dude from the
He
South.
looked
Of
like a
course he thought
racist.
that.
Yeah,
He looked like that. But then you married to Jane Fonda, and next thing you know, you like, man, we ain't doing that over here.
yeah.
Look, Ted Turner, just go look up
Watch his
NBA on
documentary
TBS.
on
No,
HBO.
or not. Just do this. Go look up NBA on TBS. TBS.
Oh yeah,
Da,
yeah.
da, da, da. The NBA used to come on TBS. The NBA used to come on TNT. Inside the NBA has been around since what's my man Fred Carter was the host of it.
Yeah, Fred Carter.
Fred
That's
Carter was the
throwback.
host. Matter of fact, when the Bulls lost to Orlando, when did they lose during the week? And what channel was that on? TNT. So it has been this for a while, y'all. You can watch it on TNT playoffs, TNT, NBC. I totally understand the streaming thing, and you might have something and apps. And to your point, I didn't even think about that. That's why I was laughing. Oh man, I can't hit last, or I can't put a number. Because one thing that I can say, it has been a while since I've said turn it on
The
channel
last, but
32. Like, when the last time you said turn it on channel 5?
I'm gonna be real. I have cable, but that's only so I don't have to pay for certain streaming platforms because it comes with the channel that you
Yeah,
have.
yeah, yeah. But I can't remember the last time I
But
was
I
like,
can't
yo,
remember the
turn
last
it on.
time I used my cable remote. I
Yeah.
always use my Amazon TV remote.
Yeah, like I look, it has been a while since I was like, what channel the game? Come on channel 2. Like it's been a while
Yeah,
since I've done that. So I agree with you. A lot of this is just y'all need to get used to the times and stuff like that. But see, here's the better part: we're paying for quality. The Amazon NBA coverage to me
Bro,
is the oh my god.
not only is the coverage is good on Amazon, the coverage is good on Peacock, and with the NFL, I like the Netflix coverage. And on top of that, maybe I'm be bougie here. I have a 4K TV. Okay, I like my 4K streams.
Yeah.
I will not watch a game if 4K is not available. It's to that point.
So if anything, this is when I go on my rant on how you've heard me go on this rant on how terrible NBA TV is. I think NBA TV is the worst sports led channel in existence. NHL is better, MLB is better, NFL is far and away the
Well,
best.
NFL's gone now, pretty much. They
But
using that as like to air games.
it's still better. It's you
Yeah.
still getting those America's games and all of those joints. Like it's still better. Like I'll watch Cal Brandt for 4 hours before I turn it on NBA TV. NBA TV is terrible. But we got Amazon that got a great studio. We got NBC, Peacock that has a great studio. Netflix has done well with the NFL. We can even talk about football when it comes to Amazon and NBC. The worst out of all of this, and if we want to complain and stuff, we say they need to get rid of it. ESPN is terrible when
ESPN
it
is
comes to
terrible.
their NL and when it comes to their basketball coverage. It is
And
terrible.
this is what hurts me because inside the NBA is still the same show. Like when you watch it, there's really no difference from when it was on TNT. Having said that, it don't feel like must watch like it was on TNT. With
Yep.
ESPN, it just feels like it's part of the package.
Yep.
TNT, they were the network. So I kind of feel like it's different. Sometimes I forget they come on. But when I actually watch it, I'm like, oh, it's still funny.
Still funny.
So that's what I feel about that. Final thing in the beef section of the show before we get to our main rundown. Have you heard any of the 3 Drake albums?
Yes. I actually put on social media. Should we be talking about all 3? Or should we just be talking about Iceman? Because if we want to talk about all 3, this to me, it will be a great streaming day for Drake. But as far as the quality of the content, we talk about that on summer sessions.
Yeah, I saw somebody comment said they needed a summer session. By the way, you can blame me. Last Tuesday, I couldn't get out what I was doing. There will not be one on Tuesday because my team might be winning the Premier League on Tuesday, and I will
Man,
not be recording.
I need an argument between you and Pavy about this Drake album.
This is how I know that album is mediocre, and I'm gonna read you word for word what was said in our group chat earlier today. So I have a group chat with me,
Okay.
Pavy, the homie Damien, and Thomas.
Uh-oh.
So there was usually when a Drake album comes out, Pav is flooding the group chat, flooding it with quotes, caps. It's the greatest album ever heard. Da 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 da. Brother, there was no text. There was like 2 texts in the entire chat yesterday. And then today, at 12:17 p.m. Central Time, Damien says, I know your boy is finished when he dropped 3 albums in one night, and Pav ain't sent one message in the chat. So me and Thomas are laughing. An hour later, Pappy responds, it was too much going on in my phone last night. He's like, yeah, I bet. And then I was like, yeah, dope ain't hitting like it used to. He said, oh, it's hitting, ... for me. I was like, yeah, that tells you everything you need to know right there.
Oh, he hit the for me?
For me.
I ain't never heard Pavy say for me.
Ever.
He said for us.
He said for me.
Oh.
That told me everything I need to know. Now I will say this. I have not heard the entire 3 albums because I think 3 albums for any artist in one day is ridiculous. If Jay-Z dropped 3 albums, it's going to take me a month to get through. Yeah. So I'm definitely not doing that for Drake. Number 2, I used to work in music. You still work in music. We know what the plan is. He's just trying to say, I'm the only artist with the top 3 albums on Billboard. That's what he's trying to do here. Okay? But I will say this too, because he dissed LeBron on here. He dissed Kendrick. He dissed Cole. He dissed Khaled or whatever. I have no problem with him dissing these people. You know, but the way that him and Kendrick went at it, I hope they hate each other forever. I believe some beefs just shouldn't end. Like I love seeing Uncle Murda and Tony Ayo go with Ja Rule on a plane a couple months ago, like they're not in their 50s. I personally enjoyed it. Some beef should last forever. I have no problem. Drake can send a shot at Kendrick every song for the rest of his career. I don't care. But I ask one thing: just make it good. The lines were terrible. How you have somebody call you a PDF and you up here calling them Muggsy Bogues? Who are you? Are you John Cena? What are we doing? It's just bad. And the LeBron raps. If I'm standing with LeBron, that's how you know it's bad. Can't nobody with a lawsuit be the jurisdiction on who's a real dude. Enough.
Mental
Okay.
health matters, y'all.
Mental health matters.
Mental
But
health
just some of
matters.
the beats, it sounds uninspiring, at least from my heart. Now I will listen to the 3 albums and I will give my non-biased opinion. But I'm just like, this I also know that's not hitting like that. It has not been flooding my Instagram story timeline. The
Oh, it ain't.
usual suspects.
Give it time.
There's not. Yeah, but okay, but you know how it is on a Drake album release. Even with that crap he put out with P&D last year, everybody knew that Nokia was the one. Everybody knew that. Have you seen one consistent song on anybody's Twitter or Instagram? No.
Not yet. Not yet.
So that's just my deal with it. But as far as the LeBron thing, it's just like, one, I don't think LeBron cares. 2, just make it better, bro. Like that's all I'm asking.
I'm not mad at Ice Man. First listen. I've not did the in-house listen. That's probably gonna be tomorrow. Um, but I'm not mad at Ice Man. I think it's make him pay. I like make him pay, and I ain't mad at the. I'm not mad at the disses outside of Kendrick. With Kendrick, it's just like, come on, man. Like, I'll say this: the only thing that I didn't like is the only diss you really put a name on is Khaled, but Khaled ain't said free Palestine yet, so I guess that's valid, right?
Which is very funny considering Drake's nationality. And I'll just
Exactly.
leave it at that.
And that's what make the diss even more like.
Yeah. And that's why I don't. You're right though. Like at this point, we already know how y'all feel about these people. Name names.
Yeah, name
And
names.
I'll
Like,
say one thing that really bothered me. And in the words of Ray J, love who you want to love, be who you want to be. Are Drake and Future sleeping with each other? Like, for the love of God, how do you do a song with a man who started it?
yeah.
He started it. He named the album "We Don't Trust You." Then a month and a half later, "We Still Don't Trust You." He the one who lit the flame on Like That, and you back doing music with him?
Yeah, I couldn't have did that. I could
It's
like
weird.
honestly, if I'm Drake, the only musical person I trust is 21 Savage. 21
Honestly,
Savage is the only one to me, the only one that did not turn on him. Now, the other 2 albums was the Habiti or whatever it
I
is.
don't know the names of those. I just know he put his
Fam.
mama on one of them, and I don't know the other ones.
So Habiti is hilarious to me, fam. That album is I could not take that album. Everybody was talking about some. We need to get an R&B album from Drake. No, the hell we don't, because we got it. We got it. It was one song on that joint. I think it's classic. I swear it felt like a terrible opening to a Jodeci song. That's a B side, not even a single, but a B side.
Not even Jodeci. The total start to a KC and JoJo song.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that shit, I was like, "What we doing here?" And Maid of Honor, that no. For those who might not follow me on Instagram, Jr. Bang, I do this thing. I create my own playlist.
Bang's random playlist.
So it's like another random playlist that I do, and sometimes it'll be mostly is obscure songs that people might not necessarily be aware of, or it might be a song that I just love, like back in the day. So I did one for one of the songs that's on the album, and it definitely felt like it was 1987. It's nothing but biker shorts and halter tops on women, and it is they got leg warmers and shit. They got the Easy Spears on, and they going to the club. They doing this and shit, and they doing cocaine and all of that stuff. It definitely sounds like a cocaine fueled album of nothing but techno hits, joints that was played in
He
like
probably
Hot Mix
was on
5 in
cocaine.
Detroit. So
I'm glad he admitted that July 2024 broke him. I'm glad he admitted that.
he had to.
I'm glad you
And
admitted
I'm
that.
glad he admitted too. But Iceman, I'm not mad at. But if we're grading, if
The
we're
entire
doing
thing.
right, if we're doing right, we're not grading the entire thing as one project. You're grading them as separate projects.
Yeah.
Iceman, I I'm good with it. The other two, fam, you could have dropped them bitches on Saturday and Sunday. You should have left
Or leave
Iceman.
him for the rest of the year. All
No, I
right.
mean,
Spread it out.
if he doing this to get out of his contract, if he had 3 more albums on the contract, he's done.
He
That's
definitely
what like
pulled a Machiavelli.
yeah.
100%.
So if you're gonna do this, then drop on Saturday and Sunday. Let
Yeah.
Iceman stand alone. I think if Iceman stood alone, then Iceman we would be talking about it more. But Iceman is competing with a techno fueled album and an R&B album that nobody really wants. They
Yeah.
wanted Iceman, and that's it.
I'll end it on this, and then we'll get to what y'all all came here to listen to us talk about, and that is sports. But this is a perfect segue into that. He's mad at LeBron, and honestly, fair play.
Yeah.
I thought LeBron was wild as hell. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like I wouldn't even be mad at him going to the Kendrick concert. He was acting nuts at that Kendrick concert, and I know he's a big Kendrick guy too. But you got a personal relationship with Drake. I don't know if he has a personal relationship with Drake. If he does, that's even more reason why he wilding. When you got two friends beefing, you stay the hell out of it.
Yeah.
So I'm like I said, I'm not mad at Drake for feeling the way he feels. Just make it good. All right. And so he's very comparable to LeBron right now. Because it's over and they don't know it is. Like that's really what it is. Like he'll go out there, he's gonna do really good on these first weeks because he got 3 albums out. It's a lot of songs. He's playing the streaming game, or I like to call it the Chris Brown rule, where you just load everything so you can dominate streaming. It's gonna do well. He's gonna go on his tour. But let's be real. Drake ain't been Drake in 7 years. Let's be really honest here. The last banger he had as a hit record was that Kiki Do You Love Me joint. So In My Feelings.
Yeah.
God's Plan was before that. You can't name one. And I'm not even saying this to be joking. His fan base has changed from women to dudes. And that's not even a
Oh.
joke. That's 100% facts. My man's got Shane Gillis in a video. You can't get any less hip hop than that. You know what I'm saying? So,
Especially after this Kevin Hart.
especially after the Kevin Hart thing. You know what I'm saying? And so, I also feel like we're giving Kendrick too much credit for pushing Drake here. Just
And
like
real
we
quick,
give, I just
real
want to say
quick.
this real quick
Oh,
before I
no,
forget.
my bad.
It's like we give 50 too much credit for ending Ja Rule. Ja Rule was already going there. 50 just pushed him off the cliff. Everybody loved Thug Lovin' now because it got popping on social media. I remember when that song came out.
Right here.
People did not like that song when that came. It was like, what is Ja Rule doing? That in the Grease video, all 50 did was push him off a ledge.
Yeah, he was.
And I think that's the same thing here. Drake was already on a slow. And for everybody says, oh, he's selling records. Yeah, he's Drake. He's going to always sell records. But from what he used to be, like if you look at LeBron right now, LeBron's still playing well for a dude his age. I remember when LeBron James would have snuffed Shea if he tried to get in the post. All right. So that's the difference. I remember Drake put out an album and the world froze. Everything stopped. You knew this was going to be the song of the summer. It's not like that anymore. So all Kendrick did was just push him off the ledge. He was going that way anyway. So that's what I personally look at it. I'm just going to go a couple of these comments. But go ahead and say what
Derek.
you want to say.
I was gonna respond to Derek and some of the things he has coming out. Yeah, DMX did release 2 albums in 1998. Um, in fact, I always laugh about 1998 because Rough Riders Anthem was the third single off of his Dark and Hell is Hot. And it was the single while Slippin' was released, and nobody really cared about Slippin' like that. They was like, "Yo, Rough Riders Anthem is out here and stuff." But Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood was also #1 that year. He's A Ball released the triple album set in 1998. Technically, it was a triple album,
Yeah.
but that third disc was snippets from other albums. I want to
Yeah, didn't
say
he have like a
off.
remix on there or something too?
Yeah, it was basically they snuck a promo
Yeah,
disc
exactly.
in that
Yeah,
joint. Cause I want to say Crucial Conflict Scummy is on that promo disc, but it
yeah.
was a yeah, I
Oh, we
think.
really showing our age right now.
Yeah, right, yeah. So it was a promo disc that was slid up in
It
there
was like
where,
one of them discs they had an FYE where you could listen to it.
yeah, yep.
It
It
was
was
one of them.
snippets. It was snippets. It wasn't even the whole album, and stuff like that. And yeah, back in the day, Nick, look, Stevie Wonder may have went on the greatest album run of all time, like the way he released music. And I said this on some dude. I said this here too. I want people to get back to dropping albums that got 9 to 11 songs. Get the best songs. Stop giving us the filler. Give us the
Never
best
gonna happen
songs.
with the streaming era.
But actually that adds to my point. The the fact that people are not even listening to full albums on streaming, they're taking songs and they're making them playlists. Give them the right damn playlist. Give them the best 9 to 11 albums, and I guarantee you they're gonna play that shit over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Instead of just giving us 45 songs and just say, hey, make a playlist out of these songs.
My cousin had a great point when he said his music never aged with his original crowd.
No, I
That's
didn't.
very true. Because look, Drake 2 years older than me. I would still say my age is his target audience. He said Drake is Peter Pan. The boy,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
hey,
Look,
shouts out to Jay Hollis. Me and Jay Hollis been sending voice messages. We've been on this
that's
because
that's a
basically
great
that's what we've
point.
been saying.
That's a great point. And it's like, bro, your fan base has kids. Some are married. We're dealing with adult things. I love Jay-Z. It's my favorite album. I just told you, this has nothing to do with Drake. If Jay put out 3 albums today, I got a life, dude. I'm
Yeah.
not getting to all of them
Oh,
before July. It's just not gonna happen. And I love Jay like he's a member of my family. It's just not gonna happen.
God,
So we're adults, and this is I haven't seen this, but I was waiting for it to happen. And people say, "Oh, you don't like this song because you don't be outside, bro." We're 37, bro.
I'll be
You
44
shouldn't even
on
be outside
Thursday.
like that.
I'll be 44 on Thursday. I don't want to be outside. I want to be at home. I don't
I
want to
want
be
to be at
outside.
home.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. When everybody here, we outside. Like this is
Yeah,
outside for us. We be out there in this porch. Like, look, people got
outside
to
is my backyard.
people got to stop saying that because that's how I know people's houses is dirty. Because outside was inside. If you had a musical house, we would play songs and your house be clean. This we okay over here. I don't have to go outside to enjoy a song. I'm here cleaning my house on Sunday morning and shit be straight. I'm outside on my in my patio barbecuing cause shit be straight. I'm
Yeah.
upstairs cleaning up,
What
shit
did
be straight.
Cameron say?
Yeah,
Cameron be like, man, you always like, Cam, why you not gonna be inside? He said, I like my house.
I like my house.
I like my house.
And we
And there's
gon' and
one
we
last
gon' groove
comment.
here.
One last comment. He said, Drake too old still be calling himself the boy. This is why I'm gonna shoot Drake some bail. Jay almost 60 calling himself young. All right, I'll shoot Drake some bail. Blue Ivy is almost driving age. And Jay up there talking about it's young. No, I give Drake a little grace on that.
But
But
yeah, and my last thing is Jay
go
Hollis
ahead.
is right. Artists are more focused on content. That's the art. People are more focused on making content for social media, captions and things for social media instead of the art. That's why the Airy Crown Theater gonna be dead in 20 years when all of these older artists are
20.
gone.
It might
I
not
mean,
seem 2035.
we got Raheem Devon still out here
Yeah,
performing, so
that's
we
true.
straight.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, Neo going on his Airy Crown warm up right now.
Oh, hey,
Him and
Neo was.
Akon.
Hey, look, Neo was with us at the time during the Fantastic Voyage last year,
Yeah,
killing it. Hey, look, hey, keep sweat. Airy Crown Theater Tour. You know what I'm
big
saying? Go
shout, big
ahead.
shout out to Neo. Hey, Neo's 3 album run, I don't think it's enough love.
No, it
I
does
put that
not.
up with a lot of R&B albums, bro.
If
A
if
lot of
if my
R&B
wife
albums.
if my wife heard that right now, she'd be like, "Damn right." See, watch this. Hey, baby, Neo's 3 album run.
Very high.
See, she said, like, why would I even ask you that? Yeah.
But let's get into the sports. This week, it's been NFL schedule week. Now, we all know the NFL is officially the new America's pastime. But I think what you see now more it's just we're just thirsty for anything NFL. I actually got excited on schedule release day. Like oh, I can't wait to see the marketing videos from each of the teams. You know what's going to be the full Christmas lineup. We're just so thirsty for anything NFL. And I had a conversation with a friend of the program, Jonathan Hood. Shout out to the Captain J Hood Morning Show.
Good job.
When
Keep up the good work.
when he was saying that people just want to hear anything about the Bears. Like you got two first place teams in baseball. You got a basketball team that maybe might get some stuff right. Just got the fourth pick. You got your women's basketball team starting off a little good. And everybody's just like, hey, what's Roma Dunze doing right now as we're speaking? What's Roma Dunze having for lunch? That's just how high that Bears love is and NFL love is. But I also saw some people say, oh, just drop the schedule. I like it. It makes it an event, makes it something for everybody to get excited about. And let's be real, it's the last thing we got to be excited about for the next 2 months until training camp actually starts. What do you feel about schedule release marketing and how they kind of made it an event now?
As a director of content and social media manager, this is the Super Bowl for us. This right here is the Super Bowl, so I love it. It like you're right. Like we're not gonna get any real until August. Even like OTAs and all of that stuff is like gonna go so quick. So this is it right now until we get to full training camp. But I love it. Again, in my work, in my line of work, this is the Super Bowl. So seeing all of it, like I had sent up in the chat how the Chargers, no, the Texans, no, the Chargers had put no, it was I forgot who it was, but they
It was the
put
Chargers who did the
it was the
CJ and
Chargers. Yeah, it was the Chargers. They did the CJ and Caleb Williams, and I was dying. And then looking at the Broncos do to catch a bandwagon fan, like instead of like a playoff or to catch a predator, that was out. That was hilarious. And shout out, and this is more of a diss than anything. Shout out to the Detroit Lions who took the fun out of everything, talking about some. We're serious. We're not playing no games this year. Man, get your bunk ass up out of here.
yeah, like bro, have fun, bro. Like for the love of God, like what are
Man,
you
have
doing?
fun. But I love it.
But yeah, man, I love it too. We'll get into the actual schedule of what the other teams are, and we'll talk about the international games. But we're here to talk about the Chicago Bears, man. Chicago Bears schedule. Like you were talking about yesterday was Christmas for people who do content. I recorded for like 4 hours yesterday.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? I did a 79th and Hallis, which is up right now. I did one for my YouTube channel. By the way, Ben, I gotta tell you off air. I started using Google Ads, and let's just say it paid out. Let's just say my viewership is going up. But I just want to go over the Bears schedule. It's allegedly the highest difficulty. Now you know how I feel
Based
about
off
strength of schedule.
based off of the 2025 record.
Strength of schedule, in my opinion, is bullshit.
Yep.
We don't know what any of these teams is going to look like. We don't know even who's going to be on this team. We don't know who's going to be hurt or not. And Colin Cowherd, I hate that I'm agreeing with him a lot more in all sports. It's really starting to piss me off. But he said that he don't think it's that tough either.
No.
Just look at it. The bye week is in the middle. There's a stretch. We got like 3 home games in a row. We're playing nobody off a bye.
You agree with Chris Canty too, then?
What do you say? I don't follow him.
Because Chris Canty on the morning show earlier today was talking about the amount of rest time that the Bears have compared to everybody else because of those breaks. So they're not going to be worn down because they're going to have time to prepare and rest between some of those. So this you could talk about that strength of schedule be off of 2025 record all you want to.
Yeah.
But this is not as difficult of a schedule as people
They
are
can
trying to
actually
make out to be.
practice. I don't think the average fan knows that no matter the sport, a lot of these teams don't get to actually practice because of this quick turnaround for these games. So let's go over the schedule. Starts off week 1 in Carolina against the Panthers. That should be interesting. It'd be a debate, because the trade, they really changed both franchises. I don't know if you've seen this video on TikTok. But when I look at that game, he said, I got a light skinned belt, look like Michael Jackson. Got a dark skinned belt, look like Michael Jackson. That should be a win. I'm not gonna go win or loss because it's early, but that's
Nah,
just how I
you
feel
you'll
about that.
you'll see me though. I'm there.
Week 2 at the Lakefront, home opener at noon, the Minnesota Vikings. Week 3, first of 2 Monday Night Football games, the Philadelphia Eagles come to Chicago. End of the summer night. I can smell that fourth BLT that Jalen Hurts is going to throw. It's a rematch of last year's Black Friday game. So you got that, the first primetime game. Then you got the Jets. Anybody we talking about homecoming games? Homecoming game.
Yep.
Homecoming get.
Around
The
homecoming
Jets,
time.
yeah, the Jets are coming to Chicago, and that ends 3 straight home games. By the way, the Bears have 9 home games this year because they didn't get the international game. And I got a theory that they told the NFL, hey, we did that shit 2 years ago. We're not doing it again. Because every reliable source I had told me that a Falcons game was going to be in Madrid. And then it changed 48 hours ago. So, yeah. Then the second primetime game, even though it's 3:25, that's Fox game of the week. That's primetime. The Green Bay Packers at Green Bay. Okay. Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field, an early game in the season, should be decent weather. Then week 6 at Atlanta against the Falcons. Then week 7, Thursday Night Football, third primetime game. You got the AFC champion, New England Patriots coming to town. And here's my hot take. Mike Vrabel will not be on the sidelines.
And
That's my hot take.
They're gonna be huffed this year. That's
I
the
think
team
so
that
too.
takes it back. So
then week 8, the second Monday Night Football game of the year, the Bears would travel to Seattle to take on the defending Super Bowl champions, the Seattle Seahawks. This is a tough game. I don't care what era of Seattle Seahawks football you're talking about. This era, the Russell Wilson LOB era, even the Matt Hasselbeck, Mike Holmgren era. Seattle's just a tough place to play.
yep.
Then you come back week 9 at home, Sunday Night Football against the Buccaneers. It's the 5th primetime game. By the way, 3 primetime games in a row. Then you got bye week 10, and you come home, week 11, Saints at the crib. Then we go week 12, Thanksgiving. This is like the 3rd time in 5 years that they play the Lions on Thanksgiving. Lions in Detroit. That's the 6th primetime game. Week 7, noon, Jaguars come to Chicago.
Oh, we always beat them here.
Week 14, we head to the Yale to take on the Miami Dolphins. Then
they should win that game. But
every time we go to Miami, something goofy happens.
Right. If there was a trap game, this is the trap game.
That's it. Week 15, Saturday Night Football. That's the 7th primetime game of the season. In Buffalo. Then you got week 16, the 8th primetime game. Bears, Packers at home on Christmas. Then you got week 17. The Lions come to Chicago. And then final week of the season, we're at Minnesota. And who knows what time that'll be because they don't pick the schedule week 18.
And I'm gonna pick that Minnesota game as a loss, mainly because I think the Bears will not be playing for playoff contention during that time. I have the Bears right now. I have the Bears losing 4 games. And I'm not doing that, because of fandom. Like when we did that a couple of years ago.
Yeah, you did that 2 years ago.
That was pure fandom. But now I am no longer thinking in pure fandom. I am thinking about how well the team has improved. But is this a difficult schedule? Yes. But the difference between this year and last year is that difficult part of the schedule was mushed together. This right here is as spaced out of a schedule that I've seen from the Bears in quite some time. Their most difficult games are not squared with it's not blocked with each other. So when you look at the beginning of the season, and this is also taking account man being the starting quarterback instead of the next head coach for Nazareth Academy in LaGrange Park. This is taking into account that I don't think that the Green Bay Packers are as good as advertised, especially with Michael Parsons probably being
I mean, I
on
think every
pup,
team in the division, including us, took a
including
step
us.
back.
Right. So with Michael Parsons probably being on pup for the first 6 games of the year, and they've already lost some stuff on defense, including their defensive coordinator. Even though the Jonathan Gannon is going to be there, and I think he's a great defensive coach, he's going to be helpful for them. They're still going to have some work to do there. This is also taking into account that I don't think Detroit is as good as they are, and that's why they're trying to be so serious. But then when you look at how some of these more difficult games are spreaded, and then there's teams like the New England Patriots that I don't think they're going to be as good as they were last year. I think this is prime for what you've been saying all off season long for the Bears to really take advantage and really get to where they need to get. Now, this prediction might change,
Yeah,
but I am looking at the teams as they're constructed. I am looking at the things that they have done in the offseason. When I look at all of those teams, there's no team that the Bears have played that has, to me, improved greatly
yeah.
outside
There's no
of
juggernauts on
that.
this schedule.
Like the only
Well,
team on
on
the
top of it, I
schedule.
don't think there's any juggernauts in the NFL. Period.
Right,
But
and here's the thing about the Seattle Seahawks. One of their better defensive players last year is on the Bears this year.
that's very
So
true.
we're gonna learn a little bit more. They're gonna have a chance to learn a little bit more. So if the Bears, if that offensive line is situated, whether it's Logan Thomas or the dude Bradbury, as long as that's straight and that left tackle is straight, I do say right now the Bears are primed to own the North. This could change during preseason and training camp and all of that stuff because injuries, but there's no team on the schedule that I feel like improved greatly. They have no juggernauts. They just have people that had successful seasons last year, but those people lost people. So I'm gearing up for a good year.
Yeah, I'm definitely gearing up for a good year. I think my number one concern is still going to be that pass rush. I have major concerns about the pass rush. I think the linebacking core work. I think we have the best secondary in the NFL. Well, not the best, top three, because I
Yep.
think Denver's really good. I think LA, the Rams, really beefed up their secondary this offseason. So I think we're top three when healthy. But my question, if that pass rush can even be respectable, that's going to help tremendously because I think this offense is going to be a light show. I think year two, Caleb, year two, Colston, Luther. I think the running game's still going to be good. I think the offensive line is going to be steady. I'm expecting big things for this offense. I'm expecting big things from this coaching staff in year two. I think the biggest thing I hang my hat on is not my worries for the defense. It's just what we were saying. I don't think the division. I think the division digressed. I think that I'm gonna be even further. I think there's only gonna be one playoff team from this division. I don't think it's gonna be
Yes.
two like last year. And here's my hot. And this might be y'all might think this is gonna pack a hater. No, I really think the Packers are gonna finish third. I really do. Um, I think they took a huge step back, lost the offensive coordinator. And I think the biggest thing for them, the Bears
I
aren't
got a
scared of
bigger
them
hot
anymore.
take.
What?
Go ahead, because I got a bigger hot take. Just
Okay.
finish your point.
I think the biggest thing for them, the Bears aren't scared of them anymore. Like, I'm not saying that they won't beat us because I do believe that we'll split the two games between the Packers like we did last year, if you don't include the playoffs. But there's no more fear. There's no more looking at the Packers as the big bad wolf, not just from the players, but from the fan base. Like I used to look at these Packers games with absolute fear in my heart and
Not no more.
hoping we could get a result. Now I'm like, we gonna win at least one. We can sweep them. That's what I would change right there. But overall, I think it's gonna be a fun season. I think if this defense can even be ranked 15th, I think this is going to be a great team. And go ahead with your hot take.
that the Minnesota Vikings will be the number 2 team in the NFC North this
I
season.
don't think that's a hot take because
Right?
as much as I'm not a Kyler Murray fan, I trusted Kevin O'Connell that much.
Yep,
And I think just even a little bit of teaching is going to make him good.
man, stand on the fast track with the best wide receiver in the NFL. Come on,
E-
y'all.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like
Any
he's
more
not
thoughts?
like
Go
he's
ahead.
not a terrible for anybody to for everybody to understand. Kyler Murray is not a
No,
terrible
he's not bad.
quarterback.
No,
He
no.
is not a bad quarterback. He starts off fast. He might wheeze in the back.
But I don't even think that's a Kyler problem. That's an Arizona Cardinals problem.
Exactly.
So it's
So
not just him.
you get him, Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. Come on, y'all. I that's the
That
team that
running
actually
game, that
and
defense.
that's the team that actually scares me, and I think that team is going to be a lot better than
Yeah.
what people
They
think.
won 9 games with J.J. McCarthy and the quarterback formerly known as Carson Wentz. They won 9 games. So you can't convince me that they can't be a game or two better with him. So I agree with that. Let's one last thing on the Bears before we move on to the other NFL schedules. Prime time. We just landed out. The Bears have 9 prime time slash big slot games. And I say slash big slot because you got the 2 holidays and you got the game of the week. I know a lot of people out there don't like that. You got to grow up. This is what happens when you're a big boy football team.
Yep.
This is what happens when you have a superstar quarterback. This is what happens when you're in a massive market like the Bears. I think the NFL got a reminder last season of just how much of a big ticket this team is. We smashed ratings records at the end of that season. We broke records on the Black Friday game. We broke records for the Week 16 game on Prime, and we broke records. I think that wild card game is the highest rated playoff game in like 2 decades
Hmm.
for the NFL. So the NFL is like, we finna get on this momentum. So I know a lot of people don't like watching their team on prime time because it's the only game on, and people who don't watch the team every week get all these opinions. Honestly, bro, that's what comes with being a big boy team. So I'm gonna tell y'all, deal with it. Any thoughts on the 9 prime time slash big slot games that the Bears have this
This
year?
is what you play for. This is what you want. You add the fact that we're in the third biggest market in the country. This is what is expected. So if anybody got an issue with that, man, stop watching football.
Exactly. Let's get on to the other big schedule. So we were talking about complaining in the main segment, in the opening segment. People complaining about streaming. I find this debate interesting because since I watch a lot of European football now, I see a lot of people in the UK don't want Premier League games to be played in America. Like they're anti spreading the game over here. And I see a lot of Americans who don't want our football played over there. And the number of international games is growing more and more. This year there's 9 international games. You got week 1 in Melbourne, Australia. You got the Rams taking on the Niners. And there's a big beef there because that's a division game. Then you got uh, Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. You got the Cowboys and the Ravens. London has 3 games at Tottenham Hotspur Spurs Stadium, which this is going to be, and this is going to be funny because by the time that these 3 games are played, that stadium will no longer host a Premier League team because the Spurs are getting relegated. So that's going to be very, very funny. But you got the Commanders taking on the Colts, the Jaguars taking on the Eagles, and the Jaguars taking on the Texans. Then in Paris, you got the Saints and the Steelers. And then you got week 9 in Madrid, Falcons, Bengals. Week 10 in Munich, Germany. You got the Lions and the Patriots are going to be playing where Bayern Munich plays. And then the final international game, week 11 in Mexico City, you got the Niners and the Vikings. Now, me personally, I'm looking at this from a business perspective. I love it. I think growing the game over there is cool. I like to hear stories of people from these different countries and how they picked their NFL team that they root for now. Because it's similar when I tell my story about how I picked my European football team. So I think that's kind of cool. I'm not on the gatekeeping thing when it comes to our sport. And I think this is cool. And I think people got to get used to it because next year there's going to be 10 and there's going to be more than that. And I think in 10 years, there's going to be an entire international division. Not Ryan, but Raj Goodell keeps talking about it. And he's doing deals with these stadiums. You know, Tottenham Hotspur is an NFL stadium. When I went 2 years ago to London, and I see it now, you have the Spurs logo on one side of the stadium. There's a fat NFL logo on the other side of the stadium. And they just did a deal with Real Madrid and the Bernabeu in Spain for them to be doing games out there every year. You're going to start doing a lot of inter-promoting. And I picked that up Super Bowl weekend. When I was there for the Super Bowl, every soccer league was there. And there's a lot of inter-branding. So I think by 2035, there's going to be an entire international division. Each team is going to spend a month just traveling and playing everybody in these divisions. What's your thoughts on the schedule? What's your thoughts on Raj Goodell's international plan? And are you on the gatekeeping side of let's just keep American football in America?
No, I am not on the gatekeeping side because football is in America. Like you got football and you got football. So if we not gatekeeping them, then we shouldn't gatekeep ourselves and stuff too. So no, I'm not mad at it. And while I've never done it, we've talked about it, but I've never done it. But you've done it. Feels good. I bet it's an experience to go overseas to watch a football game, or just to overseas to watch a sporting event in general. Like when I look at the WWE in Italy and in Scotland, and them the most rabid fans. Like they kill American fans. Every time like Clash in Italy is gonna be in a couple of weeks. And man, oh man, they
Bro,
be
European fans and crowds, they're smoking us, bro.
yeah, they
It's not
smoking
even
us.
remotely close, bro.
Right. And when they say they ride with their team, they ride with their team. And they're not even irritating when they do it. They just ride with their team. So I love it. The only thing that I don't want is a NFL division
Yeah, I want
within
that one.
I
I want
don't
that.
want that. Like I don't want that.
Yeah. I don't
Like
want Bears Packers in Germany.
well, that I don't want. And I don't
Yeah.
yeah, I don't want no divisional games out there. And what I don't want also is a full I don't want like was that the Hamburg, Germany. I don't want like the World League of Football and those teams like the Barcelona Dragons and all of those stuff. Like, I don't want that. I just want to play games out there and then boom. I don't need, if you want to adopt the team, then adopt the team. But I don't need the Barcelona Dragons back. I don't need that.
Well, yeah, they're gonna have a team when they expand. That's for sure gonna happen. But I will say the experience was cool. And this is when I went. It was about 7, 8 months before I started watching soccer. Now I know a lot more about it, but like the area was different. The way people experience sports, they don't have parking lots at these stadiums. I just want
Oh, they
people to
don't?
know that there's no
They just
parking
woke up.
lots. Yeah, you have to take a train or park your car somewhere else. And this idiot here tried to call an Uber outside of Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And I learned very quickly, you're not getting that Uber, boss.
Mm.
So I had to go on an extremely packed train to get to where my hotel was at. But any other things like I like the Thanksgiving slate. I like the
Yep.
Christmas slate. I think the NFL learned from that Christmas slate last year that we got to put some big dogs on here. You know what I'm saying? You got Bears and Packers. I think you got Bills and Broncos or something like that, and you got Rams and Seahawks. So I think that's a good slate.
Hey
So
man,
yeah, man.
shouts out to the Berlin Thunder. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Frankfurt Galaxy. Shouts out to the NFL Europe World League and all that
NFL
stuff.
Europe.
We just don't need them as regular teams. We don't need that. Wait a minute.
Moving
Wait a minute.
on.
Wait a minute. Wait.
Go ahead.
Except, except if they do the European teams like they do soccer, and they have regulation.
Bro,
I
I
would
have
like,
been
I would like to see that.
a
Not with the
huge
American teams, but with the Europe
no.
teams.
I want it in American sports. I want regulation in American sports like I need air to breathe because it keeps ownership accountable. Like I'm like, bro, like remember we talking about the stadium that the Jaguars are playing all them London games. The Spurs, who the team that plays there, there's a great chance they're getting relegated. And like it's the biggest story in like soccer right now. Outside of everybody hoping my team Jags over the next two games, they don't win the league. But besides that, they want this team going down. Imagine, I'm gonna explain it for you. Imagine the Buffalo Bills are not in the NFL anymore. It's to that level. Like if they lose on Tuesday, they're getting dropped. Okay. So I need that in American sports. It never happened because these owners are like, you ain't cutting me out of guaranteed money. But that's what I need to happen, man. But let's move on to the NBA. The NBA kicks off again tonight. There was no basketball on last night. Today we got two game sixes. You got the Cavaliers. I did not expect them to be up 3-2. I did not expect that, but
they didn't need
the shameless performance by the Detroit Pistons in Game 5. So the Cavs have an opportunity to knock out the Pistons and advance to their first Eastern Conference Final. I'm pretty sure I'm correct on this. This has got to be their first post LeBron Eastern Conference Final appearance, and they would meet the Knicks. And then you got another Game 6 after that. The Minnesota Timberwolves trying to fight off elimination against the San Antonio Spurs. We had 3 Game 7s in round 1. Do you think we're getting any Game 7s this weekend?
No. No. I think that the Detroit Pistons lost their chance. I think Jalen Duran, if it wasn't so easy to get a max contract right now, he would not get a max contract in the way he's been playing. He's been playing like crap. He is the reason why they are down 3-2. And there's somebody that's supposed to be an NBA All-Star and who could possibly be like an all NBA third team or whatever. If I was the Detroit Pistons in the city of Detroit, which actually I respect their basketball, even though I'm not supposed to. I at least respect it. If I was Isaiah Thomas, Bill Laimbeer, Mark Aguirre, if I was Vinnie Johnson, if I was William Bedford, if I was anybody on a past, present, or future Pistons roster, I would beat the mess out of Jalen Duran right now. So I think because of how they lost, I don't think they got it in them. And as somebody who has a video that people ask me to share every year for James Harden, the only way they're going to lose this game is if James Harden wets the bed,
which is a very high possibility.
Which is a very high possibility. But in this one right here, I think this is perfect for him not to, because it is no pressure on them. It is the pressure on the number 1 seed Detroit Pistons. Now, if somehow the Pistons lose, then the Pistons are going to the Eastern Conference Finals because James Harden is going to wet the bed. Now, in the Western Conference, Lord Jesus. Boy, when you talk about an elbow that probably shouldn't have happened.
Oh, my bro. This is why I understand why some people don't like Wemby. Because it's his persona. Let that elbow have been Anthony Edwards. They'd have been trying to kick that Negro out the league.
Nah.
Like, honestly.
Look, Scott, that happened in the second quarter. I get it, but it happened in the second quarter.
I'm not saying they should have suspended him. I'm glad they didn't suspend him.
But
the outrage would have been worse.
Oh, no. What I'm saying is this. The outrage would have fueled Anthony Edwards, and we would have got an amazing game.
Okay, that's a good point.
What we did not see, but then we eventually saw, is what the fuel will do to Wemby. Lord, if I was Nas Reed, I wouldn't have threw that elbow. I would have just let soft Wemby play. But it just feels like when Wemby gets a taste of real American basketball stuff, he like, all right, bet, I want more. What did we say during the Olympics? Oh, he hated to lose that game.
He like that little kid to get a little taste of sugar, and now they want a lot of sugar.
And now they want a lot of sugar. We said during the Olympics, oh, man, it's going to be hell for the NBA because Wemby pissed. He don't like to lose. What did we see? Hell for the NBA. He gets hit in the elbow. He gets kicked out the game. He like, yo, I got kicked out the game. Yeah, you got kicked out the game. I bet. And then you look on TV and you got people saying all of this stuff. What did he do to the Timberwolves? He whooped their
Cooked them.
ass, fam. He
Cooked
cooked
them.
them. If I am the Oklahoma City Thunder, who is just sitting there waiting, oh my, and you've been losing to this man all season long.
First of all, I will say this: the NBA needs Thunder. I never saw a series that will involve two very small markets that I believe will change the course of the NBA.
Yep.
We need that series. And we'll get to the Knicks in just a minute, but I think the Knicks are in the best position they've ever been, at least since I've been on this earth. Because those two are gonna beat each other ass. And if they make the finals, they get to deal with the remains. I will say this: since we had 3 Game 7s last month, I don't think we'll have two. I do believe we'll have one. I believe that the Thunder, not the Thunder, but the Wolves will win a very close Game 6 tonight.
Mm.
With Cavaliers Pistons, you know what thing goes under the radar? Cleveland's a very tough place to win in the playoffs. Like
Yep.
historically, we can go LeBron era and we can go post LeBron era. The Q or whatever they call it, I know it as the Q. If we want to go before that, the Gund Arena. It's a very tough place to play. Yeah, it's throwback right there. Very tough place to play. And we don't give that home crowd enough. And I just think, yeah, Detroit came back from 3-1 against Orlando, but let's just be very real here. Orlando are not serious human beings. And even the games that they won was not impressive. All right. I believe the Cavs are going to win this game. I still think James Harden is going to do what James Harden does. But I think that Donovan Mitchell is going to close the door. I think that Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, a lot of the others are going to really step up today. So I'm going to go that. I think you're going to see an epic performance from Anthony Edwards. And I think that Io is going to play well. I think it's going to be a nice team victory for the Wolves before the Spurs wash them off the earth in Game 7.
Yep.
So that's what I think is going to happen. Before we get to, well, actually, I'll talk about OKC and the Knicks right now, and we'll get to LeBron after that. In your opinion, are we on a collision course for Thunder and Knicks NBA Finals?
No, no. I mean, I picked before the playoffs. I picked San Antonio versus Detroit. And it looks like Detroit ain't gonna do it because JD out here playing like crap. But again, as I had mentioned a little bit ago, and I'll go a little bit in detail here, the San Antonio Spurs is going to not have a lot of rest. OKC is going to have it. That that is something I don't want for OKC, even though I picked San Antonio, because San Antonio is a team that will be more, I will say, battle tested and
Yeah,
ready, going up against a team that they've been beating really all season long. Like
yeah.
I think OKC may have won one game against
They
San
won
Antonio
one
Spurs.
game. I even think the Spurs beat them in the NBA Cup tournament.
Yes. So this is a team that they don't match up well against at all. So if I'm OKC, I'm having hard pause practices to get in shape for this team who
This is
we've
a series
been.
they gonna need J Dub. I
Yeah,
hope J Dub hamstring ready because it's
yeah,
time to hoop.
if they don't have him, then
They're gonna
San
lose. I ain't
Antonio
gonna
is
lie, they're gonna
fixed.
lose.
And I picked San Antonio to go to the finals and win it. The Knicks, on the other hand, the Knicks is going up. The Knicks remind me of when LeBron James went to the finals his first time.
Oh, this
When,
team way better than that
no, no,
Cavaliers
no, no,
team.
no, no. I know. I'm not talking about that they're not as good or anything. It's just that the teams that they was running into the perfect teams at the perfect
Oh, I
time.
get what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
they
kind
was
of agree with that.
yeah, they was running up against teams at the perfect time. You ran up against forget the first round of the playoffs. You ran up against the Philadelphia 76ers team that Joel Embiid is basically broken down over something else.
Which
And
we all knew was gonna happen.
right, and Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe wasn't playing as good as they could or whatever. But that was now you're gonna go up against a Detroit team. Well, they don't want to go up against Detroit. The team that's been kicking their ass all year long, who wants to play them, who's been kicking their ass all year long, is the Detroit Pistons. I remember that first game of the year when everybody's like, oh, Knicks versus Detroit. Knicks got a show, boom, boom, boom. And Detroit whooped their ass and laughed in their face. We can talk all we want to about how Jalen is playing. He go up against the Knicks. Yo, we got experience beating the shit out of y'all all year long. But against Cleveland, though, better matchup. So
Better matchup, but I do believe Cleveland can make things sticky for them because Donovan Mitchell is one of those primetime players. As much as I'm not the biggest fan of Donovan, he can make it. In fact, I don't know. I feel like Detroit can give them bigger problems, but I kind of don't know how to feel about the Knicks for the reasons that you just named. You know, they played Atlanta. Like, they've been on what, a 7-game streak of just blowing dudes out?
yeah,
Like, let's be real. Everybody knew Philly wasn't going to really, like, do too much
right.
against them. You know what I'm saying? And even if Boston would have won, I still think the Knicks would have beat Boston just because of the way that Boston plays.
Yep.
But I still think, unless the Knicks do some Knicks stuff, which is highly possible, I think this is the best shot that they have to make the finals since 1999. Now, the problem is they're going to have to play either team going for a repeat or an absolute freak of nature. And I know if you're the Knicks, if you're playing the Spurs, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, we back in the final. Oh, another generational big we got to deal with. And 27 years ago, we had to deal with what was it, rookie year Tim Duncan or year 2 Tim Duncan and David Robinson. Enough. So I definitely think that's gonna be interesting. But yeah, man, we need Thunder Spurs. That series is going to be cinema. But I
Inject
think
that in
Anthony
my veins.
Edwards, yeah, I think Anthony Edwards got something to say about it tonight, and I do think it'll be a game 7. I don't think game 7 is going to be close whatsoever. I think Spurs will wash them, but I do believe it'll be a game 7. So just 2 more topics before we wrap this episode up. We talked about LeBron James earlier with him being dissed by that biracial rapper from Canada. Um, but LeBron James got eliminated this week, swept again. And I know I said I'm pretty much over hating LeBron, but I just got to throw one more dig at him. That man got more sweeps than championships. Like, you know, everybody like to say in the stupid LeBron Jordan debate, oh, how many times has Mike been knocked out of the first round? How many times has LeBron been swept in
There you
any
go.
round? And in his Lakers tenure, it's happened a lot. This is like the 4th sweep with the Lakers. So that's what I said about that. But there's a lot of conversation. He's going to be an unrestricted free agent this summer. First time, I think, in his career, because even when he moved to Miami, that was a sign and trade
Yeah.
to help with the cap. So this is the first time in his career he's going to be a 100% unrestricted free agent. And is he going to go to another team? Is he going to come back to LA for maybe 1 more 2 years? Me personally, now I know he said that he does not want a farewell tour. Hear me very, very clear. That man is a liar. Okay? You're not going to sit up here and convince me that everybody else is going to get farewell tours. And the guy who, in my opinion, is the second best player to ever pick up a basketball is not going to get one. I just don't buy it. I think he's coming back, and I think he's going to re-up with the Lakers for 1 more year, and they're going to make it one little big thing, and he's going to move on. I know everybody keep bringing up the Knicks and the Cavaliers, but let's be real here. Outside of the money you'll get from it being LeBron's last season, what do the Knicks and Cavaliers have to gain by paying him the money he going to want and pretty much fixing their roster to fit him like he's 31 still? It just makes no sense to me from a basketball team building perspective to add him. I think he's going to drag it out because that's what LeBron does. But that man's not going anywhere. If he retires, I will be stunned. What's your thought on how this summer of LeBron is going to end?
If I am LeBron Raymond James, I am sitting and I'm wondering if this is a farewell tour grab or if this is a last chance at a title because it's not going to be both. It can't be both. To me, we have seen LeBron James win his last NBA title with the bubble. If I'm LeBron James, I'm done. I'm retiring. If I don't, if we're sticking to what he said, then I can only listen to what he said, and he said that he does not want a farewell tour. If he does not want a farewell tour, then go ahead and do that damn Players Tribune article that says that you're done. Send the facts. I'm done. Go on NBC Sports and announce that you're done and you're gonna be an in studio person, or you're gonna do what Michael Jordan was
he
supposed to
does a
do.
sit down with either UD or D Wade with Prime.
Yeah, do that. Do that. But LeBron James, the Lakers are not gonna win a championship.
No.
And to
And
keep
I
it a
think the Lakers, you know who the Lakers are, not to cut you off, G. The
you good.
Lakers are like, it's like a man or a woman in a relationship where they are begging their significant other to break up with them. And like they doing stuff to piss them off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
If I'm Luca, do I really want LeBron James back?
No,
And
hell
Le-
no.
and LeBron James has said on more than one occasion that he's the third option. And I can tell you right now, every time he said, I say to myself,
He be lying.
he be lying and he don't want to be no goddamn third option. This ain't what he want.
Austin Reeves is a good basketball player. He's not a bigger option than LeBron James. Let's cut
No.
the shit.
But him saying that is the team letting him know.
Right. That
Like, yo,
okay,
you the
good
third
point.
option. So he don't want to hear that shit. And also with him being LeBron James, look, if we want to do this Michael Jordan, LeBron James, anytime you hear some dumb shit, I use it in an argument. Michael Jordan fans can always say, man, Michael Jordan ain't never been no damn third option. Like LeBron James,
Anything gotta be that. I will always, you know, how somebody takes one thing they will hold forever. I will always hold the 2011 finals in my heart
yeah,
dearly.
yeah,
That's my trump card in any debate ever.
always. So LeBron James doing the like playing for the Lakers one more year. He don't want that. Luca don't want that. Luca want this to be fully his team. There's that right there. He could go back to Cleveland. But if Cleveland don't let Kendrick Perkins say it, he definitely told my cousin this. LeBron James is already being pursued by Donovan Mitchell and James Harden. But to me, that's not going to win him another championship.
I'm gonna be real. That's not winning the East.
Like that's to me
And he
that's
said he
not
didn't want to
something.
be third option. He'll be third option there.
And that's what I was else was about to say. He said he don't want to be no third option. He'll be the third option there. If he goes to the New York Knicks, guess what he's going to be? The third
Third
option,
option.
especially if they have it their way and get Giannis. LeBron James is not going to win another championship, and I believe
No.
that LeBron James knows that. That's why I still continue to believe that this will be the most anticlimactic retirement of a top five player in any sport in the history
So you say
of
we're gonna
sports.
wake up the morning of July 4th, getting ready to fire up our grills, and there's gonna be a post on uninterrupted.com.
Because
My goodbye to the game I love.
yeah, because at this point you can only listen to what he said. He said he don't want no retirement tour. He said he don't want to be a third option. Well, if he don't want any of those two, what he gonna go? What he gonna go to Atlanta?
Or as Orlando says in the chat, LeBron's farewell tour as a Sacramento
Yeah,
King would be hilarious.
he gonna feel.
Remember, he said he would love to play with Steph and Draymond. Nobody wants to see that.
So he gonna be a number two option. Like, so he gonna be a number two
Pretty
option.
much.
Like, nah, fam.
Can
LeBron,
you know be annoying about that? Him and Steph gonna be injured half the year.
right? LeBron James has always said he don't want to go out like certain people. I'm not gonna do the Draymond Green, Charles Barkley thing, but LeBron James has said that he does not want to go out like certain players. If he does not want that, you got to take that man at his word. And right now, if I'm taking him at his word, this is last season.
Yeah.
What he gonna say? What he gonna say? I don't want to go out being swept. Oh, so
You
he gonna
know,
go out losing the
the
game.
more you explain it, the more I can see that.
I'm only going by what he said.
Yeah, that's true.
That's it.
That's
Now,
true.
I could think something different. I could think, yeah, I could see him retiring as a New York Knick. But does LeBron James want to retire in another uniform
And on
outside
top of that,
of the
bro,
two he's been
we
the
talk
longest?
about love. LeBron wants love, right? I know a lot of New Yorkers. I have a lot of New York friends. Outside of Chicagoans, the most people I'm friends with are from New York City. If they win the championship with LeBron James, guess who's going to get thanked? It's not going to be LeBron. It's going to be Jalen Brunson.
Right.
There's an argument that Jalen Brunson is the most beloved Knick ever at this point. There's a legit
Right.
argument for
Legit
that.
argument.
And LeBron James, and I think that's the issue with the Lakers because I know a lot of people. I'm gonna use my Los Angeles as my second home card. People don't like that man. Actual Laker fans. I don't know if you saw the video that went around of people interviewing Laker fans walking outside the Staples after they got eliminated.
Yeah.
And they asked him, do you want LeBron to come back? Everybody's like, no.
Nah.
He's not Kobe. I think people don't understand that. Like, LeBron's going to get his jersey retired in the Lakers. Like, and he should. 8 years there, won a championship, no matter how I personally feel about that championship. He won a championship. Anybody suggesting that that man's getting a statue outside of Staples Center is smoking dope. First of all, there's way too many statues outside of that. When I tell you the front of Staples Center is too congested. Kobe got 2 statues. I love being to death. I got a picture of that man right here. There's 2 statues too many. He just needs 1. All right, enough. But Kobe got 2 statues. Shaq got one of the worst statues I've ever seen in my life, hanging right over the entrance of Staples Center. Pat Riley just got 1. Magic got 1. Kareem got 1. Jay West got 1. Chick Hearn got 1.
And Lisa Leslie about to get 1.
Lisa Leslie about to get 1. Wayne Gretzky got 1. And there's like 4 other LA Kings. There's like 12 statues outside it. And you think LeBron's going to be out there?
It's some LA. Who the other LA Kings that got 1?
Whoever their legends are. The only one that but see, it's different. In the front, it's kind of like, you go to United Center and you see Michael Jordan statue, and then you see like the other Blackhawks legends on the side. The only king that's in the front is Wayne Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky's right next to Kareem. Everybody else on the side, like closer to where the hotels are over the LA line. If you think LeBron James is getting a statue over there, you're out of your mind.
Yeah, I had to read it right now. Jerry West, Magic Johnson, Kareem, Shaquille O'Neal, Elgin Baylor, Kobe and Gianna. The Kings are Wayne Gretzky. Oh, Luke Robitaille. Oh, yeah. He deserves 1. And it's a monument.
Yeah, there's a monument
Kings
on the side.
Players, including Marcel Dion, Dave Taylor, Rob Blake, Jonathan Quick. I know that name too.
Oh,
Drew Daugherty,
Jonathan Quick is over there.
Dustin Brown, Lisa Leslie getting 1, Chick Hearn, and Oscar De La Hoya.
Oscar De La Hoya, he do got, and then Kobe got a bigger one. It's in the front with his finger out. So I say out to say this: the only place like LeBron is looking for love, it's not gonna happen. So your love is in Cleveland. Even if I'm Cleveland, I'm like, hey, Bron, we love you, but no, like you're gonna get your jersey, you're gonna get your statue. She might even name the arena after you in about 15 years.
The James Court.
Yeah, and as soon, and I don't want this to happen, I love this dude. As soon as Pat Riley is 6 feet under, he's getting a jersey retired and a statue in Miami. They're the only 2 cities. It's not going to happen. So it would make sense the way you're saying it right now if he just does it. So
He's looking for love in all the wrong places. Fam, he's looking for love in, or go look at Buckwheat, Eddie Murphy, Wookin' Panah in all the wrong places. Wookin' Panah. Fam, if just go by his words and the fact that he reportedly feels disrespected by the organization because he didn't get a game ball.
Oh, yeah, I heard Dave McMenamin say that story.
And if it's anybody that I could believe in this situation.
Dave, there's 2 people that I always listen to. Well, 3 people I always listen to when it comes to LeBron. Brian Windhorst, no matter how much LeBron want to act like he don't know. Who's my man? Chris Haynes and David McMenamin. When them 3 say anything on LeBron, I believe it.
I believe it. So the fact that where is he gonna go and feel that love for 1 year?
It's not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen. So, let's wrap this up with our final topic. We gotta talk about the Chicago Bulls. Now, we were not on the air 2 weeks ago, so we were not able to talk about the new hiring who replaced Arturas Karnizovas. So the Bulls, great week for them. They hired a new executive vice president of basketball operations, Bryson Graham, young black man, used to work with the New Orleans Pelicans. Highly regarded, by the way. This is not just the usual Michael Reinsdorf thing in play here. We hear that he was highly regarded. He actually won this competition. Remember, a lot of people said that Matt Lloyd was
Yes.
going to come back to Chicago, and when a Reinsdorf doesn't hire a Reinsdorf guy, I get a little excited. So I don't know much about this brother. Obviously, the Pelicans aren't a model franchise, but I watched his press conferences. I listened to the interview he did with Casey Johnson and my homie Cam Smith. And I was like, you know what? Let me give him a shot. Now, there's one thing that stood out to me. Joe Cowley. Now, I know a lot of Bulls fans don't like Joe Cowley because he keeps it very real on the Bulls. And by the way, he did interview Joe Moore and stop interviewing Nick Friedel. Like, he been out of Chicago for a decade, bro. They be bringing dude on. He just talking. Go do something else. Like, enough. Even Joe said it himself. He was like, yo, y'all be interviewing Nick Friedel too much. Like, he ain't been here in a decade. He don't know what's going on here. But I thought it was very interesting what he said. He said Michael Reinsdorf gets a lot of stick, but one thing he's never done is told the Bulls they couldn't spend a big amount of money. His father did that. Michael's never done that. So that says more about AK to me,
Yeah.
knowing that Reinsdorf would have signed off on whatever. It was AK. So outside of that, Bryson Graham has already got to work. He's hired Stephen Mervis as the senior vice president of basketball operations. And one of my favorite players, one of my favorite role players, AC Law.
Yeah. Hey.
I'm a big AC Law guy.
Hey, yo. Hey. When you talk about college basketball
Yeah.
names,
Yeah, AC Law.
AC Law. Hey, AC Law the
AC
fourth.
Law.
The fourth.
Yeah, the fourth.
The fourth. Hey, look, when I saw that hiring right there, I said, you know what? Hey,
He's
that
trying
man
to build a staff.
and he got my support. He
Yeah.
got my support.
And AC will be VP of player personnel. Now, they still need to hire a general manager, and of course, they still got to hire a head coach. But the big news is, what did I say? What did me, you, and Mikey been talking about in the chat for weeks? They got to get lucky and get into the top four. Well, luck shined down on us last Sunday. The Bulls will be getting the fourth pick. So at worst, they're going to be getting a really good player. And also, it's good, they've got the 15th pick. So now you've got a new front office. You're going to have a new head coach. You're going to have, I think, the most cap space next season, like top two at the worst.
Yep.
And you're going to have a top four pick, and you got 2 picks in the top 20. Where's your optimism levels right here for the Chicago Bulls?
All right, so remember I came on this show and I said that the Bulls is the most irrelevant franchise
Yes.
in the NBA and the most relevant franchise
All
in
facts.
Chicago. They still is. Let me
Let's be
not
very clear.
let's be very
Ain't
very
nothing
clear.
changed yet.
As Scott will say, let's be very very clear. All right, they are still the most irrelevant franchise in
Yeah.
Chicago. However, when you look at, there's hope. I will say there's hope. My concern about Bryson Graham is we talk about the programs that he came from, and
They're not really successful
they
programs.
ain't really successful. Right? But he had a hand in drafting Herb Jones. All right.
Yeah, but also AK had a hand in drafting Jokic, and we saw that land out.
Exactly. Right. And the one thing that I had said from the beginning that made me nervous about AK is you look at how the Denver Nuggets were built. They weren't built with huge draft picks in the first couple of rounds. They were drafted with middle round picks. Like Jokic was drafted when Subway commercial was on in the second round. You had people like Gary Harris and all of that stuff. Michael Porter Jr. drops in their lap because of back issues and stuff like that. So I was always very nervous about them being at the top of the draft, and they went and drafted Patrick Williams instead of drafting who I said they should have drafted at that time, Tyrese Halliburton. Right? So let's move on from that. Bryson, I'm gonna give this man a pass because of this reason right now, and this reason only. Because this is the most that I've seen a Bulls organization build out their front office ever. Like ever. Like you just said, they still looking for a GM. And I was like, wait a minute. I thought the dude they just hired from Orlando, who's the assistant GM, is supposed to be the GM. You got AC Law as the VP of player personnel. AC Law had a hand in what went on in Oklahoma City. So that's great to see right there. And also, he said that he wants to build out the front office before we even get to the head coaching situation. Now, if you look at some of the rumors and you see that Sean Sweeney, the assistant head coach for the San Antonio Spurs, is somebody that is being circulated as a potential head coach for the Bulls. Well, that means you can't hire him until San Antonio gets out the playoffs, and I think they're gonna win the whole thing. So we ain't gonna get no head coach until June, if that is
And
the case.
I think you only do that if you know that's your guy.
Right.
Because the draft is like 2 weeks after the final. Not even 2 weeks. It's a week after the finals.
And we know the NBA is the king of back channel conversations.
That's also
So,
very true.
well, let's back channel this conversation up, shall we? So I love the way that he's building out the front office. They got the fourth pick and the 15th pick. I am praying that Caleb Wilson drops the four. I am praying that
That's
that
who I want.
right. I still believe that Utah is going to offer Washington a unprotected first round pick to
Now
move
here,
up.
look, that's a good wrinkle that you brought up. That I was gonna bring up. There's rumors about Washington trading
Oh,
down.
I said that day one. I said that the day the Washington Wizards won the lottery. The next thing I said after, oh man, was Utah about to offer them a protected one to move up because Ryan
Yeah.
Smith has been putting money in AJ DeBonza's pocket since high school. Since what's that, like prep school. So he's been giving them money since prep school. He gave him that money, that NIL money to go to BYU. And he just knew he was about to get that first round pick. So when he saw that, he was like, "Shh, I got to give up another pick to go ahead and get the person that I want." And you know what? When you look at the Utah roster, they don't need another number one pick right now. When you put him on that squad along with Jaren Jackson and George and Laurie Markkinen and all of those people, they got a decent young squad. So I already have it that Utah's gonna move up and they're gonna get that number one pick and they're gonna go ahead and get AJ DeBanza. I think the Washington Wizards are then gonna go get Darren Peterson with the number two pick because they do need a wing player. Then it comes to Memphis. Do you want Cam Boozer or do
Now
you
here's
want
the
Caleb
Memphis
Wilson?
thing
Wilson,
that
excuse me.
somebody brought this up. Would you trade
Yes.
down to get Ja Morant?
Yes, I would trade because they got to give. I said on this platform too. The only way you're gonna get rid of John Morant is if you package a number one pick with him, whether
Yeah.
it's a future one or this one right here. The trade that I saw that has John Morant in the three for Patrick Williams and a couple of other players in the fourth. Bet I'll take that pick in a heartbeat. Now you got John Morant at the two. You got Caleb Wilson at the four. You still got the 15th pick. You could go ahead and go and grab you probably a center right there. You have your guard. You have a point guard. You like your joint is set. So I love Caleb Wilson.
And Ja
Um,
Morant is only 26,
yeah,
by
he's
the way.
only 26, and he would be motivated. And plus, since he was out there kicking it with Vice Lords in Memphis, well, why don't you come to the home of it in Chicago?
The real lords over
Look,
there.
go ahead, yeah, just go ahead and kick it with G Herbo a little bit. Be at concerts, be at WGCI Big Jam on stage, doing little shit. Come on, come on, John.
go
So
go
I,
on, go on
so
GCI.
right now, I don't think that trade is going to happen. Let me just say,
Nah, I
I
don't
don't
think
think
so
that
either.
trade is going to happen. But it would not surprise me if you see number two swap with number one and number four swap with number three. But I do believe that your four picks would be AJ Peterson, Cam Boozer, and then Caleb Wilson. And that will be great for us. And then at the 15th pick, I would love to see. I love to see some size there, Pauls. I love to see a center spot. I don't think that that Acuff is going to drop down to nowhere. And I love Acuff is my favorite player in the draft. But I don't think that you. I don't even if Cam Boozer.
I don't want Booze on this team. Part of it
he-
is PTSD. The other thing is I just think he's a safe player. I don't think he's bad. I think he'll give you 15 and 10 every night, damn near. But he
yeah,
don't strike me as somebody who is anything more than a third option on a really good team.
yeah. My only thing is with that is you don't not draft size
Right,
in that
like if
situation.
he's there, if that's the only option, take him. But I like the other guys more than
Unless
I like him.
unless there's a team that's right behind the Bulls, let's say the Clippers, that's like, hey, we'll go ahead and do that because there's two guards that's right there that if you could get you an extra pick, I think would fit with the Bulls, and that's homie from Illinois and Acuff.
One last thing. What do you think about the Giannis rumors? I want no parts of that, by the way.
Which
No
one?
parts
It's a new
about
one
the Bulls potentially trading for Giannis.
for what? With what?
That's what I said.
Like, if I'm the
I honestly,
Mil-
my hot take is I don't think it's gonna cost that much to get Giannis.
No, I don't think it's gonna cost that much either. I know I don't think it's gonna cost that much. He's almost in his mid 30s.
Yeah,
He's been injured for the last 2 years. I'm still saying if I'm the Milwaukee Bucks, with what? What are you gonna give me?
yeah. I just don't. One, I think, like you said, he's in his mid 30s. I don't like calf injuries. Calf injuries are
Nope.
very tricky, especially in basketball. I would want no parts of that. I don't want the Bulls
You're not
to
about to Ben
put.
Wallace me?
Yeah, right, exactly. I don't want the Bulls to put makeup on the pig. I've been begging them to do an actual rebuild for forever since the baby Bulls. So I want them to actually do that. Don't half-ass it. You can sell me on Ja Morant. On Giannis, I'm straight.
Yeah,
I'm
you're not about to
absolutely
Ben
straight.
Wallace me again. You're not
Yeah,
about to get
exactly.
somebody
Not
that's gonna play good for a year and a half and
and as
then
much as
just
I love DeMar, you're not gonna DeMar me.
mm-mm.
It's just not gonna happen. But that's all we got today. Good episode. For as much as we talked in that first hour, we only went 15 minutes over
Yeah.
our usual
And
time.
since we didn't have a show last week, shit,
Yeah,
take that extra 15.
exactly. So that's all we got for y'all, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Very active chat today. Shout out to everybody watching on YouTube, on my Twitter account. Shout out to everybody watching. Bang, anything you want to promote? Tell the people about.
Hey man, first of all, happy birthday from Cam from the port. Today is his birthday. He's in Denver right now, probably high as a giraffe's chin right now. But we're gonna do an episode tomorrow, and I have a very major surprise for him tomorrow. A very major surprise. Shouts out to the big homie Sean Knight for helping me get this surprise. But a very big surprise, along with a new intro for First
Okay.
Black Champ. So y'all, hey, go ahead and check that out. Some dude, we got a new episode that's out right now. I've been promising a brand new podcast. With that being said, that's gonna drop in June. That's gonna drop in June. So Scott, I'm gonna be putting some stuff on the platform. Gonna be putting some stuff in the platform and stuff like that. And yeah, my
Cool.
birthday is on Thursday, Jack.
Yeah.
So shit. Y'all already know what it is. I'm about to go get some G4 and watch SmackDown and some NBA basketball.
I'm holding my alcohol consumption for hopefully Tuesday. I'm hoping that my soccer team wins the championship on Tuesday. And then I will have a much deserved 10-month drink for this team stressing me out for the better part of a calendar year. So that's what I'm hoping happens in the next couple of days. But 79th and Hallis, me and my brother did a full schedule preview episode that is up right now. The video is up right now. The audio is up right now on all barbershop feeds. And we have a new 79th and Hallis YouTube page. So the link is not in the description box right now as we're live, but I'm going to put it in there as soon as this is over. So click. If you're watching this later and you're not watching this right now, The link is in the description box to the 79th and Hallis YouTube. We're gonna be doing a lot of different stuff on that page. Will not be a summer sessions on Tuesday for the reasons I just named, but we're gonna aim for the week after that, so we can actually, hopefully by then, I will have digest majority of these 3 Drake albums, so at least I have ammo to throw at Pav. Because I don't have that right now, but I will at the time. So anyway, subscribe to the Patreon, patreon.com/BarbersChat Network. Link in the description box, or you can scan the QR code. Please subscribe to my YouTube. Link is also in the description box, or you can scan the QR code. Follow me at BarbChair Scott. Follow Bang at JR Bang. Follow everything Barber's Chair. Y'all enjoy y'all weekend, man, and we gonna holler at y'all next Friday. We up out here.